Welcome to Synthesis Center San Francisco. This video is a compilation of clips from our recent information webinars with Dr. Dorothy, also known as Didi Firman, who was our Director of Board Certified Coach Training and Curriculum. To learn more about our programs, email us at info@synthesiscentersf.com, and we'd be happy to answer any requests and to send you a program guide. You can visit our website at synthesiscentersf.com, and please do take some time to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at synthesissf.
Taking a moment to be amazed just by the possibility of what it means to be human in the largeness and the uniqueness of who we are. And taking another moment to appreciate yourself for having done something that is minor in the sense of everything you did in the last 365 days, but is essential and important because you came here. I came here. 43, 44 years later, I came here because I do hear something of value, something that inspires me, the call of self, and I respond. And each of you, however you heard something, a little voice in the background, an image you saw, a word that attracted you, a thought about where you might go in your life. You heard that and you responded. So breathing into the depth of who you are. Letting that breath soften and quiet your mind, settle your body. And let yourself in that quieter space. Just notice, remember, imagine what it was that drew you to the idea of psychosynthesis or coaching or this webinar or me or Susan. Something evoked in you a call. A friend may have referred you. You may have seen something. Let yourself just get a sense without trying to grab it, but just a passing soft sense of, why am I here right now? Of the thousands of options for what you could have been doing in this moment, you chose in service of something that had meaning for you. You chose to be here. An inquiry, a curiosity, a resonance, an exploration, an impulse, whatever it was that brought you here, let it come forth in this moment, and it may change. In this moment, let yourself tune in just briefly to the important and purposeful calling in you that has you visiting with this group of people for this period of time. One of the things we think about in psychosynthesis is synchronicity, is the way that the universe or our world offers us opportunities to make meaning that are, again, not 2 + 2 = 4, but other ways of seeing how we know something, what's important to us, what's being called on in us. And so this work of purpose, which is, if you're continuing studying psychosynthesis, or if you have already studied it, you'll know that purpose will come up 100,000 times. It's the first stage of the act of will, the assumption being that an act of will that is aligned and meaningful will start with a purpose. Purpose is also the guiding star of our work as helping professionals. And by that I mean that a client could come to us and say, I want to clean my bathroom and I'm stuck, or I want to save the world and I don't know how to start. And in both cases, we would want to, in fact, we would need to understand why that was important, why that had value, such that the purpose was enlivened from a centered space, because plenty of us have subpersonality voices, another concept that we will play with along the way. But all of us have subpersonalities that say, clean the bathroom and save the world today. And so as a helping professional, what we want to do is to learn to pull back into center, so that by the time someone is working towards making a choice, and coaching, as Susan said, is a coactive and a proactive kind of work. It's not designed to be remedial, though it might be, because always there may be old stuff that gets in the way. It's not designed to get out the steam shovel to, dig up the whole past, though that always will come visiting us as we're moving forward. But the moving forward that we do, we want to help create an environment where that moving forward is done in a conscious manner. We will be asking those questions all along, so that this being leads us consistently into new awareness. And in psychosynthesis, when we talk about the call of self is defined as contentless awareness and will. And what's so important about that for me is that the contentless word is a defining aspect of knowing ourselves in self, unstoried. It's not that we don't know what our story is. We can remember the 27 things that we're still annoyed with our parents for doing. But are we letting those define us? Or can we just hold them out and say, yes, perfectly imperfect parents. Contentlessness is an invitation to consistently become the more is not quite the right word, the expanded version of ourselves. There's a saying in Zen, today's enlightenment is tomorrow's pitfall. This contentlessness is an invitation to consistently become the more is not quite the right word, the expanded version of ourselves. If we choose to align ourselves with that process in a conscious way, then our entire lives becomes a movement of dropping away old and limiting stories or identifications, allowing new and rich qualities to emerge that will define new ways of being. And that becomes just a beautiful, beautiful life's process. So in a very large way, that is a definition of the work that we do. And in a much smaller, more compact way, if we're thinking specifically about psychosynthesis life coaching, we're taking the people who come to us and we're asking what they want. And beyond what they want, we're asking who they are and how they are being called. Because again, wants may be a really clear way. I'm very impulse guided, and usually it's really right on for me. But there are many of us for whom impulse is just a distraction, or it's held within a subpersonality. So what do you want?
Mm.
And who are you really?
Mm.
And if you get what you want, if you create what you want, will that make you more true to yourself? That becomes almost the bottom line question. I could help you figure out how to clean the bathroom, just doing the list kind of thing. But if you clean the bathroom, you have a clean bathroom and you feel awful, then I haven't done my job. But this map, which I think you can see, is what we call the egg diagram, or the map of the psyche. When you see it in books, it'll just be boring dotted lines, but it'll be the same map. What's important about this map for us is that it shows us the whole realm of the individual. And what we work with in psychosynthesis, whether we're working in education, in coaching, working on ourselves, working in psychotherapy, working in medicine, what we see here is the outer rim is the collective unconscious, the area that Jung most brought to the world of psychology, the place where the whole species shares an unconsciousness that we can touch on through archetypes or dreams or rituals and rites, ways that if we are open, we can understand another person's, let's say just for the sake of it, politics or religion, not because we agree with it, but because we can look further and further deep into it to see that, oh, that's what they're drawing on. So archetypes like the warrior archetype, we have a lot of our young people ending up in the military because the warrior archetype in them, the call of self towards heroism, doesn't have many outlets. And while I might be on the other side of a political view about a war, I'm not on the other side of that person who is pulling up their warrior self. But it might be a devotional self, it might be an aesthetic self, a creative self, whatever it is that exists in the universe, past, present, and future of human beings. And when we find it, it tells us who we are and it connects us collectively. A balancing and synthesis of opposites. There's a people pleaser and there's a rebel. And you can't do both at the same time in most cases. And so then the invitation is for a synthesis. What is the best of the rebel? Autonomy, freedom, free spirit. What is the best of the people pleaser? Love, caring. So we can ask ourselves these questions and we can come away with lovely visions of our unfolding self. I am a free-spirited, loving, and committed person. Okay, that takes care of the free spirit, that takes care of the rebel, that takes care of the people pleaser. And I never have to go too far away to be a rebel who gets myself or others in trouble, or a people pleaser who sells my soul for approval. We keep evolving that upwards. So that's a very little taste of psychosynthesis. And there is more. There is a comprehensive theory in psychosynthesis, not only a theory, but a practice. Very, very deep practices that we can bring to bear for ourselves and in our work with other people. That's what makes this and has made this so appealing for me for these 40 plus years, because it's always about how I grow and how I serve another or others. And there's methodologies to it so that we can actually work with subpersonalities, we can actually work with the will, we can bring together that people pleaser and that rebel in such a way that you feel called through both of those into that next step. I would like to invite you through this poem, and also as you let the seed thought of the possibility of going into psychosynthesis more, as you let that blossom, that you don't start with the logistical questions. You start with the heart and soul questions. If the heart and soul questions get answered affirmatively to anything, where there's a will, there's a way. And if you get caught in the logistics before you find out if it's a good fit, the logistics will throw you off no matter what it is. So here is the poem by John O'Donohue that I want to end us with, both in appreciation for your being here with us today and as an invitation for you to let this energy flow through you as you move through your life and as you let the seed thought of psychosynthesis find whatever home it wants to have in you. May the light of your soul guide you. May the light of your soul guide you. May the light of your soul bless the work you do with the secret love and warmth of your heart. May you see in what you do the beauty of your own soul. May the sacredness of your work bring healing, light, and renewal to those who work with you and to those who see and receive your work. May your work never weary you. May it release within you well springs of refreshment, inspiration, and excitement. May you be present in what you do. May you never become lost in the bland absences. May the day never burden you. May dawn find you awake and alert, approaching your new day with dreams, possibilities, and promises. May evening find you gracious and fulfilled. May you go into the night blessed, sheltered, and protected. May your soul calm, console, and renew you. Thank you all. I trust our paths will cross one way or another.
At Synthesis Center San Francisco, we are committed to training and supporting the next generation of psychosynthesis practitioners. We offer programs for personal growth and professional development. Our offerings include in-person and distance learning, board-certified coach training in partnership with the Synthesis Center in Amherst, Massachusetts, a self-development program in collaboration with the Istituto di Psychosintesi in Florence, as well as continuing education and workshops for a purposeful and fulfilling life. The Synthesis Center. For 40 plus years, the Synthesis Center, based in Amherst, Massachusetts, under the direction of Dr. Firman, has trained hundreds of individuals from across the United States, Canada, Europe, Australia, Mexico, Asia, Africa, and South America through in-person and distance learning programs. Synthesis Center San Francisco's accredited board-certified coach training is run in partnership with the Synthesis Center under the direction of Dr. Firman, who serves as the Director of Curriculum and Board-Certified Coach Training. Didi also serves as the lead master trainer for our coaching program. Psychosynthesis for Life is a 6-session experiential group coaching program, providing you with the maps and tools of psychosynthesis to guide and support you through the stages of the active will. Whether you are new to psychosynthesis or a seasoned practitioner, this program will guide you from purpose to manifestation of a goal, a dream, or some movement in your life that will get you closer to purpose, meaning, and values. This program is a prerequisite for our Coach and Change Leadership program beginning January 2020 and will contribute to 30 hours of the 150-hour program. There are 2 sessions available for Psychosynthesis for Life. A 6-week summer intensive begins July 10th, 2019, and the fall session, which is held over 4 months with 6 sessions, begins September 21st, 2019. In Psychosynthesis for Life, we will begin exploring purpose. What is calling? We'll move to deliberation, exploring options for taking a step more deeply and fully into purpose. We'll look at the choice point. How do you move to an intentional choice in manifesting purpose at the crossroads? And then we'll take the step of focusing your intention through affirmation. We'll create the map of a plan to support your movement, and we will guide you as you manifest the being and doing of purposeful living. Our next professional development programs will be offered in a distance learning format that combines live experiential and interactive webinars, on-demand activities and videos, and co-guiding practice. We begin January 2020. Participants will have fulfilled the Psychosynthesis for Life requirements by attending the summer intensive or fall program, and then will engage in an additional 120 hours of training within 2 program streams, Psychosynthesis Life Coach or Change Leadership. Completion of the Life Coach path leads to board-certified coach credentialing that is offered by the Center for Credentialing and Education. Join a global community of psychosynthesis students and practitioners. For more information and to apply, email us for your program guide at info@synthesiscentersf.com.